どうも、ハギーです。忘れられた都市続きをプレイしていきましょう。政務官のセンティウスだっけ？センティウスと話が終わって、次は、これですね。ルクレチアという人と話をしに行ってこいという感じですね。まあ、大きい目標としては、町のみんなと話をして、その黄金律を破いてしまいそうなやつを見つけてこいと。怪しいやつを探せよみたいな、そんな話になってましたね。クエストモッドの方もね、同じような流れにはなるんですけどね、まあ、あっちはあくまでスカイリムの世界での話になってて、まあ、ちょっとネタバレになるんですけどね、黒幕はドワーフなんですよね。ドゥエマーとかドゥーマーとか言われてますけど、スカイリムの世界ではドワーフがすごい力を持ってて、まあいなくなっちゃったんですけどね、そいつが最終的に裏で糸引いてたみたいな、そんな話でしたけど、まあ、それよりこいつやな。なんだこれ。何？おお。剣闘士かな。グラディエータービギンを思い出すな。あれなんだっけ、 PSP かなんかのゲームで、ね、結構好きだったんですけどね。何を2人で話してやがった？何のこと？
Don't play dumb. I saw you having a shady little chat with old man Sentius up on his balcony. What's he offering you? Money? Favors? What's your vote worth to him?
ああ、買収されてると思われてんのかな。なんだろう、センティウスに恨み持ってんのかな。彼は私の票を買収しようとはしていない。選挙の話はしていない。それがあなたにとって何の価値が？これにしてみよう。
A spit of a fauna career. We've lined up all the votes we need already.
お、こいつもなんか、あ、違うか。こいつが立候補してんのかなと思って。
And if I tell him you sided with that feeble old has-been, that you've been trying to undermine his hard-won victory, you'll have picked the wrong patron. Got it?
マレオラスっていうセンティウスと対抗してる人がいるのかな。で、こいつはそっちの派閥なんやろうな。問題は起こしたくない。選挙には関心がない。邪魔するつもりはなかったが気が関わったどうしようかな。気が変わった。
Oh, you just made a big mistake. Malleolus is gonna hear all about this, and he'll make you suffer.
いきなり敵ができてしまった。せいぜい頑張れよ。腕立てに戻るのね。もう一回話してみよう。起き上がるんや。文句言う割にはちゃんと立ち上がって話しかけてくんねやな。これなんやろ？なんか、翻訳する。センティウスとマレオラス、どっちもクソ。どっちもクソだ。匂いが違うだけ。なるほど。なんか人がいますね。お姉ちゃんがいるな。こっち先に話して、ない。
A new face. Ave and may Vesta watch over you. I'm Equitia. To what do I owe the pleasure of this visit?
エクイティアさん。あなたのことを教えてほしい。
Oh my. I take it
なんか呆れられた感じがする。
where you're from. I suppose it's quite charming in its own way. Usually, however, you wouldn't simply march up to a Vestal priestess and without due formality or courtesy ask, "What is your story?"
ちょっとマネージャー通してくれませんみたいな、そんな話なんかな。すまない、私はどうすればよかったのだろう。
The proper approach would be to arrange an introduction through a mutual acquaintance in high office, by which time you would already know how to address me. And then you would find a way to satisfy your curiosity rather more indirectly. But to be honest, I've often thought what an unnecessarily formal way to communicate that is. So, let's do it your way. You just keep being yourself and ask whatever you like. It'll be a refreshing change.
あなたはそのままでいいのよ。ベスタの巫女とは？
You really don't know? You are
巫女さんなんやな。
away, aren't you? Well, I am one of the priestesses, charged with keeping the sacred flame in Rome's shrine of Vesta burning. I take it you know who Vesta is?
教えてください。
Vesta is the mother goddess of hearth and home,
あ、女
and
神
the
なんや。
guardian of the Roman people.
ローマ神話ってどんなんだっけな。マルスとか、あとなんだろう、ウラヌスとか。ウラヌスギリシャ神話かな。どうやったかな。どうやってここに？
You know, I'm not entirely sure. But what about you? How did you end up here?
カレンと名乗る若い女性が意識を失っていた私を川から引き上げてくれた。そしてここにたどり着いた。このカレンね、ネットミームのところがね、ちょっと気になったんで調べてみたんですけどね。どうやら海外ではどう言ったらいいのかな。わがままというか自分勝手で周りに迷惑かけるような女性をカレンっていう名前ついてるみたいなんですよね。まあ、ちょっとなんかどういう話でそうなったかまではね、なんかうまく説明はできないんですけど、まあ、カレンって言われるとそういう感じの人のことを指すらしいですね。
Karen, you say? And nothing about that name seemed odd to you.
少し古めかしい名前だが、私がもともといた場所ではそう珍しいわけでもない。私がもともといた場所では悪いイメージがある。うん、これにしよう。
Why is that?
ネットミーム伝わんの？
The memes? What are the
伝わらんよな。
memes?
ネットミームというのは人と見せ合う小さな絵で、それ自身が言葉のようなものだ。
So, a bit like Egyptian hieroglyphs then?
多分そんな感じ。
So your people make hieroglyphics depicting this accursed character, the one they call Karen.
なんでこのカレン引っ張るな。
I wonder if... No,
躊躇しないで。
I apologize. I don't mean to be cryptic. It's just that you've got me thinking. Have you spoken with any of the others about how they arrived here too? I really think you should. Go around and ask them what they remember and see if you notice any
ほう
patterns.
ほうほうほう。随分遠回しな言い方だ。
I know. I just don't want to see what happened to Livia happen to you too.
リビアさん、まだ名前出てないよな。何が起きた？
Up until a few weeks ago, she was a perfectly productive member of our little community, darning clothes and cutting hair. She was always so chatty, always seeking out newcomers and asking them where they were from and how they wound up here. And then, about a month ago, she suddenly changed. She withdrew, stopped working and became despondent, started muttering to herself. Galerius and I visited her to see how we could help, but she just looked at us with this haunted stare, called us bloodless shadows and told us we were ignorant of some pattern. Look, it could be unrelated. Perhaps she simply fell ill. Or, as Galerius suggested, the weight of the golden rule was too much for her. But there is a small chance that she learned something, saw a pattern nobody else saw, and that it broke her. I just don't want to see that happen to you. So be careful, will you?
つまりよそから来た人たちはなんでここに来たのか記憶がちょっと曖昧なのかな。でそれをいろいろ勘ぐってた人がちょっとおかしくなっちゃったよっていう、そういう話みたいですね。気をつけるようにしましょう。
Now,
お
go and follow the thread of truth through
この
this
町の
novel.
住人それぞれの話を聞いて、その話に共通するものを3つ以上。どうしよう。とりあえず後にしようか。これにするとそのクエストマーカーがあれか、頭にくるってだけか。まあ、何ができるか考える。これでいいや。まだ話があるな。ここから出る方法を知っているか？
I don't, I'm afraid. It seems to me we're exiled here until the gods judge us, one way or another.
でもそういや逆に言えばこのエクイティアさんは よそから来たんじゃなくてずっとここにいたってことなんかな。黄金律についてどう思う？
I'm quite sure it's the work of the gods, which is strange because they've never been particularly concerned with our misdeeds, as long as we've kept the peace of the gods. We asked for blessings, for good health, bountiful harvest, military victory, and in return, we offer praise, wine, incense, or animals. But here, it seems they require much more of us. I find myself reminded of an especially pertinent tale from our great poet Ovid in his epic Metamorphoses. Would you like to hear it? It is rather long.
エクイティアさん結構話長そうやな。まあいいやろ。時間ならあるよ。
Wonderful. It goes like this. Borsis and Philemon were an old married couple living a humble life in a small town. One night, the town gets a visit from a couple of vagrants. They go from door to door, asking for a place to stay the night. Of course, being vagrants, they're turned away sharply from house after house, 1,000 in all, until finally they come to the little cottage where Borsis and Philemon lived. Now the kind old couple had very little to offer, but nevertheless, they invite these strangers into their house and offer them food, wine, and a place to stay. Immediately the guests make themselves at home. They begin gulping down the old couple's wine, so much so that Borsis, the old lady, begins to worry they're going to run out. And then she notices something strange. Her wine pitcher keeps refilling itself, as if by magic, realizing only a select few possess such powers. Says to her husband, Philemon, I think these men are gods in disguise. Immediately the couple begins apologizing for offering such coarse wine. And the vagrants metamorphosize and reveal themselves to be Jupiter, the king of the gods, and
Jupiter とか
Mercury,
Mercury
the
とか。
trickster god. They confide they didn't mind the meager
その辺が
offerings.
ロー
They
マ
were
神
just
話になるの
pleased that someone in the town offered them hospitality.
セーラームーンや。
Then Jupiter says to them, You have passed our test, but everyone else in this city failed, so we are going to destroy this place and everyone in it, except you, who we will grant a wish. So old Borsis and Philemon escape up into the mountains safely, and they receive their wish, which is for eternity together. Meanwhile, Jupiter carries through with his threat and wipes that city off the map. Some say the moral of that story is that we must all honor the sacred rituals of guest friendship, the reciprocal obligations owed between hosts and guests. But I like to think it's that we should always show compassion for those less fortunate than ourselves.
あるいはおそらく神々の試練に失敗した瞬間彼らは命を奪う。そして彼らはその規則が一体何なのかを伝える必要すらないんだ。こっちでいいか。
A cynic philosopher might take that view, but it's not entirely invalid, I suppose.
選挙の状況を教えてほしい。
It must be completed by dusk, just the same as any other official business.
あ、そうそう、
It'll be
選挙って
between
今日やる
Sentius,
み
the
たいですよね、
incumbent,
これね。
and Malleolus, the challenger. Why do you ask?
なぜそのようなことを？誰が投票できるのか。
All of the male citizens who are willing and able to attend, unless they're
あ、
running. of
男じゃない
course.
とダメなんや。私もできます。
Well, you're not a citizen yet.
あ、無理なんや。
So, no, I'm afraid not. But if it's any consolation, there are other ways to influence the outcome of an election.
例えば
By using whatever gifts the gods gave you. Nothing untoward, of course.
神々からあなたが賜った贈り物を使う。選挙でのあなたの役割は？
I'm responsible for announcing it and making sure the procedures are followed.
ああ、選管なんや。他の候補者を指名できるか。
You can, assuming they're eligible and willing to accept the nomination.
今すぐ選挙か。え、そうなん？
As I said, I'm planning to hold it
あ、
before
夕方
dusk,
までか。
but I suppose I could
夕方まで
hold
に
it
開催するん
sooner,
や。
if
もうちょい
there's a
後
good
かな。
reason.
とにかく早く終わらせたい。いや、なんでお前にそんな決定権があんねん。なるべく早めに始めれば有権者間の対立を妨げるかもしれない。あ、防げるかもしれないか。え、できんの？
Hmm. Yes, I have overheard some rather unpleasant arguments. The last thing we need here is additional conflict. Very well. I'll get things
マジで
started right away.
ちょっと待って、まだクエスト進んでないけど。
It is time.
おお、始まってしまっ
Let
た。
us meet to elect our magistrate.
おーい、マジか。どうすんの行くしかないな。こっちかな。四角をタップして目標。ああ、ほんまはあっちやもんな。前はこっちでいいんかな。ああ、来てる。おお、広場や。あ、センティウスおるやん。よう。あ、話できない。こいつはまだ知らんねや。知らん人ばっかりや。ガレリウスな。あさっきのあいつやんけ。できへんな。名前聞いてないやな、まだ。どうすりゃいいんや。おお、まだ来た。こいつじゃない。こいつはホラティウスか。はい。
We have a quorate body of voters
いつの間に。
gathered here to elect the city's magistrate. The
こいつがあれか
candidates
な。
are Sextus Sentius
マレオラス。
Imperiosus and Marcus Malleolus Gurges. As agreed, we shall dispense with ballots and candidates will abstain from voting. Let's make this quick. As I say your name, call your vote. I'll start with you, Horatius.
Sentius, of course.
こういう感じな。
Georgius,
Malleolus.
Dacius,
Malleolus.
Galerius,
I abstain. I'm just here to observe.
Virgil,
Malleolus.
あかんやん。
Rufus,
Malleolus.
and finally, Domitius.
Malleolus. Who else?
センティウス負けたやんけ、おい。
You have made your decision.
ちょっとなんか寂しそうな顔になってない
Is
か。
Marcus Malleolus Gurges.
Hail Magistrate
そうなん。
Malleolus. I said,
いきなり政務官変わって
Hail
しまった。
Magistrate Malleolus.
あ
That's more like it.
Thank you. Thank you. I am delighted and deeply honored to have been elected your magistrate. And now, I make this solemn promise to you, good citizens. Under my leadership, you will finally enjoy the freedom you deserve. No more shall you walk on eggshells, fearing simply to live and breathe, because the tyrant Sentius told you it was forbidden. For my first act as magistrate, I hereby announce a day of
これあかん
celebration
やつちゃう
to
か。
mark the end of an era.
これ
The
バッ
myth
ドエンド
of
ルー
the
トっぽいや
golden rule is no more.
いや。
The rule is real, you idiot.
For his attempt to deceive us all, Sentius is hereby found guilty of treason against the Empire.
What? I have committed no crimes. This is madness.
His sentence, to fight for his life in gladiatorial combat against Domitius, here and now for your entertainment.
You have no
Aw.
idea what you're doing. You're going to get us
お
all
あいつ
killed.
怪しいぞ。
Wait, I exercise my right as a Vestal priestess
それどころちゃう
to
けどな。
pardon him. I will not allow you to do this.
You're showing your true colors now, priestess. Your corruption sickens me. Domitius, ignore her. Proceed.
This is insanity. You'll doom us all.
Lies. It is time the golden
いや
rule
これ
was
絶対
exposed
あかん
to
やつ
what
や
it is.
バトルートや
A children's fable exploited by a treacherous leader
おい
to
めっちゃやる気やんけ
instill fear in all of us.
This is
武
why
器
it's
持
an
ってないんや
exciting idea. They've been planning this all along.
Shut up, all of you. The magistrate has spoken.
あ、こういうので
I'm
きん
going
ね。
to enjoy killing you, old man.
ああ、おいおいおいおいおい。あ、あいで、おい、なになになになになに。古い巻物。
What kind of trickery is this?
おお。取っとこう。うわ、怖っ。めっちゃ見てる。あ、トミティウス。で、どうすんやったっけ。あ、センティウスを追うんや。あ、この辺の下り。うわ、怖っ。元と一緒やな。あ、こいつ動いてるやん。攻撃してきたりはせえへんのか。するんやん。やべやべやべやべやべやべ、逃げろ逃げろ。うわ、危ねえ。ここにもおるわ。逃げろ逃げろ逃げろ。ああ、なるほどね。あ、センティウス焼けてる。で、戻ってループすると。この辺モッドでもね、同じような流れになるんですよね。で、これで何回かループして正解にたどり着くように頑張るっていうのがこのゲームなんですけど。
Salve, friend. I'm Galerius. Mind telling me who you are and what you were doing in the Shrine of Proserpina?
私たちはこの会話を以前にもした。
I don't think so. I've never seen you before in my life.
あなたの名前はガレリウスだ。あなたの言うことは分かっている。私をセンティウスの元に案内し、黄金律のことを聞かせたいのだろう。
Oh, I guess how much did I drink last night? Sorry to have bothered you.
大丈夫だ、私はもう行かない。
Oh, and since you seem to be in a hurry, you should try out this device I made. Worked real hard on it.
おう、なんかくれるん。お、ハンドル？ジップラインのハンドル。シャーって降りてくやつや。
Just attach the pulley to the rope over the lake and hang on to the handles. If it works, it'll be faster than walking.
おお。
And if it doesn't
モンハン
work,
で
worst thing
たま
that
に
can
見か
happen
ける
is
やつ
you'll
や。
take a swim in the lake. I haven't quite summoned the courage to test it myself. But don't worry, it's completely safe. Probably.
多分か。
All right. See you around.
いきなりバッドエンド入っちゃったな。で、どっから行くの？これ？あ、これか。これでビューって行くんや。おおうって言ってるけどどうしよう、これ全然話進んでないんやけど今回ちょっとあれやな、聖堂に行くのだけ、どれやったっけ、これか、これだけちょっとやろう。こっちか。何も話進んでないやんけな。アポロ聖堂やったっけ、ここやな。お、人が倒れてる。この人がロックレイチャーさん。ちょっとイメージと違うな。
Can't you see this woman is dying? She's been poisoned. She needs the resin of a plant called Silphium, but that Culus cumbulatus Decius won't give it to me.
残念だ、助けられたらよかったのに。
It's too late. She just slipped away.
あ、もう手遅れなんや。何があった？
She was poisoned. She came in here frothing at the mouth. Normally I'd treat her with resin of Silphium, a rare plant which is perfect for this sort of thing. And I knew Decius had some at his market stall, right around the corner. So I ran over there, but he just looks at me with this evil smile and says, "That'll be 1,000 denarii." There was no way I could afford that, and he knew it. Then that toad shrugs and says, "Supply and demand. I guess you don't value your friend's life that highly." Anywhere else, I'd just pay a thug to steal it from his stall. But there's no way I can do that down here with the golden rule. So all I could do is come back here and just watch her die. I kept on apologizing. And now I'll never know who poisoned her, or how they managed to do it without breaking the golden rule, or why she cursed that snake's cruel black eyes with her dying breath.
何か手伝えることは？
Well, unless you have the power to bring someone back from the dead, there's really just one thing you can do. Get me that Silphium resin. I'm going to have another patient in here soon. Could be in the next day, or in the next hour. And I will not allow this to happen again. I don't care how you get it, but you have to make it happen. Because if I lose another patient this way, I swear to the gods below, not even the golden rule will stop me from marching up to that Genetricum Fututo and scratching his eyes out.
サブクエかな？なんだか物騒な話だ。
Then you'd better get me that Silphium quickly, hadn't you?
お前が取りに行きゃいいじゃねえか。ああ、亡くなってはるな。なんか他に話あるのかな。ああ、結構いろいろあるな。このイウリアさんの話を聞いてみようか。
What do you want to know?
イウリアは毒を盛られたのか自分で飲んだのかどっちだと思う？
Do you really want to know? I mean, if somebody poisoned her, then surely they would have broken the golden rule, and so maybe it's best we don't discuss it.
なるほど。彼女が摂取したのは何の毒かわかるか？
Hemlock, I believe.
ヘムロック。あんまそういうの詳しくないんだよな。彼女が死にたがっていたかもしれないという理由に心当たりは？
I haven't seen her in months. She's not allowed to leave Maliolas' villa, and they are quite secretive.
マリオラス怪しいな。
Gladly.
おー、なるほどね。
Well, come back if you get sick or injured. Day or night, I'll do what I can.
回復してくれるのかな。というわけで今回ここで終わろうか。全然話進んでないな。クエスト受けただけなんですけどね。まあこんな感じで結構バットルートに入ってループして戻ってまた話進めてみたいな、そんな感じのゲームですね。はい、それではまた次回お会いしましょう。